Relaford, Kevin Young, and Jeff Withey, the blocking beast in the middle for Kansas in the nation. Jayhawks control the tip. Johnson up court working against Brown. Withey posting up inside. They run the lob, and McLemore finishes at the rim. We saw them working on that today.
DJ Brown at 6'2", going to switch on that back screen. He is no contest for the hops of Ben McLemore.
McLemore, the team's leading scorer coming into tonight's game. Kinney kicks it back out to Brown. He's a good perimeter shooter, but misfires on his first attempt. Johnson back the other way. Relaford to the bucket, and he's fouled. Reed. That's what Bill Self wants to see in the open court, but back to this half-court set.
Watch the switch on the back screen. He gets hung up and comes over. He just simply is not big enough or athletic enough. Whoever's guarding that back screen had better bump Bill Self's cutter coming through the middle, or it is going to be a dunk fest all evening long. Boy, kid's talented.
Oh, he is.
I mean, he is some kind of talented.
Coming off an 11.6 rebound game in their win against St. Louis. Meanwhile, Relaford knocks down the first free throw. Relaford has been, over the past 3 years, more of a defensive-minded player for the Jayhawks, but really starting to find his offense, Reed, in the last couple of games.
It's a nice combination of size and strength. He can take smaller, skinnier guys inside. He's quick enough on the perimeter that if you put a big, strong kid on him, he can hurt you from outside. A very difficult matchup.
What do you make of the Jayhawks coming out a little three-quarter court pressure here against San Jose State?
Well, that's part of what Dino was talking about in studio, that Bill Self wants this team to play faster, doing everything they can to speed up the pressure.
Kinney works his way into the paint. Tough shot contested. Rebound by the Spartans, battling underneath. Brown had it blocked. And Johnson couldn't control the outlet pass. It'll be San Jose State basketball. Actually, that was Cunningham underneath battling for San Jose State.
If you're Chris Cunningham, Jeff Withey is going to block some of your shots. You can't get rattled by it. You cannot have compound mistakes. Realize he's going to get some. Come back, go right back at him, jump into his body, and try to take advantage of your strength.
Cunningham on the block, working against Young. Nice face-up move and gets it to go.
Boy, lowered that right shoulder, bumped a little bit to create separation. Nice soft left-handed jump hook.
Cunningham to for Santa Clara University, sat out last year, making a big impact early this season for San Jose State. Young left wide open and rebounded by Brown. Is that a shot they'll give him?
That is not the shot that Bill Self wants him taking, even if they do give it to him. Just his first three-point field goal attempt of the year. That is not what they want to do. They're going to sag off of him. Kevin Young's got to get that ball, reverse it, get over to the other side. You know, it's interesting, Mark. Withey's coming off such a good offensive game. 3 times already he has posted up with a player on his back and has not received the ball down at the post.
There's Johnson looking inside for Relaford. Now Relaford off the screen.
Boy, he's wide open down there. I do not know why they're not throwing the ball inside.
He's trying to make himself big down low. McLemore with the floater. Rebounded by McLemore, and they'll get another possession. Johnson fires away. Elijah Johnson might be the guy that Bill Self is trying to light a fire under the most. Trying to get that tempo going the way they need it.
Bill Self hasn't said this, but I'm saying it. This team goes as far as Elijah Johnson will take them this year. There's not a more important player on this Jayhawk team than Elijah Johnson.
Kinney from NBA three-point territory misses. Kansas out to a quick 5-point lead. Nice post up by Young inside, but he couldn't find the handle. And the Jayhawks turn it over.
Let me tell you something about big fellas. When they work hard, they call for the ball, and they don't get it, they stop working as hard. There he is setting a little elevator screen, but look at him. He's open. He's down there. He's got a player on his back. They're not trying to deny him twice in the same possession, wide open.
Brown goes inside to Cunningham. Goes over the left shoulder over Young. Rebound and an emphatic putback that time by Alex Brown, the 6'11 junior. Coach Nessman really happy about the size he has on the floor this year.
For the first time, maybe ever.
Withey with the jump hook. That time, Reed, they got it down to him on the block. And he's fouled on the play by Alex Brown, his first personal foul.
Coaches will say that 85% of the time the ball goes down to the block, something positive should happen. You either score, you draw a foul, you create a defense shift so that somebody's open for a kick out to the perimeter. But boy, you got to go inside to make that happen.
Withey makes the first free throw. He's a 68% foul shooter. And boy, I'm not sure that any player improved more than he did last year, especially in the second half of the season. What a force he was for the Jayhawks down the stretch.
He set an NCAA tournament record with 31 blocks. He was dominant on the defensive end.
Makes one of two. 4-point lead for Kansas. Kinney has yet to score for San Jose State. Kicks it out. Jones off the mark, rebounded inside, and that's going to be a foul against Kevin Young.
A nice hustle that time by Stephon Smith. George Nessman applauding the effort of his 6'8", 260-pound sophomore. Came in and instead of following the flight of the ball, was looking at the box out, simply slipped on the inside. Good effort.
Perry Ellis checks into the ball game for the Jayhawks. And Smith turns it over. Johnson lobs it up. McLemore couldn't get it. Ellis says, I got your back. Perry Ellis, another one of those talented freshmen that Bill Self has on his roster this year. There's Kinney with the floater. And he finally gets his first field goal. James Kinney began his basketball journey at the University of Ohio. And took a year off in junior college after that and made his way to San Jose State. He's a prolific scorer.
Averaging 21 points per game. Twice in his career he has had 30-point outbursts. Oh, what a screen.
And McLemore misses from the corner. Kinney in a rush. Got control of it and airballed it. Brown missed it, had it blocked. And a timeout on the floor. It'll be Spartan basketball when we come back. San Jose State hanging in. Pretty good start for them. When
execution on that flare.
Try and get me killed.
Oh my gosh. I'd get up and slap him on the back of his head and say that's the last time that'll happen in this game.
Here's Brown out top. Kansas in its man defense. Brown claims he got hit on the three-point attempt. No call. And back comes Elijah Johnson pushing it down court. McLemore on the wing. That time they denied and Withey well, and Ellis steps out and knocks the jumper, showing his range. He was the number 9 ranked prospect at power forward in the class of 2012. Showed you why right there.
And he is silky smooth. Boy, he looks like Marcus Morris stepping up there at the top of the key, knocking down that jump shot when you sag off on the high-low action.
Kinney kicks it out to Jones. Nice move into the paint, but that was a goaltend by Withey. Chris Jones with the bucket. Well, coverage of college basketball continues Saturday with a triple dip on ESPNU at 6. The Blazers take on James Michael McAdoo and the Tar Heels. Then at 8, the Wildcats face the Red Raiders. And at 10, the Aztecs face UCLA. A college basketball triple dip, triple header Saturday on ESPNU. Also live on Watch ESPN. ESPN, the home court of college hoops. And what about UCLA losing to Cal Poly?
Well, Baylor loses to College of Charleston. Texas loses to Chaminade. San Jose State's got to say, hey, why not us?
Sure, that's the air they came in here with. And Withey had his man sealed, and Stephon Smith helpless.
And Stephon bellied up and then locked his knees and didn't move his feet at all. You have got to make Jeff Withey shoot over high hands.
Nadir Tharp has checked into the ball game for Bill Self. Backup point guard, he'll be running the point. Nice spin move. Couldn't get the finish though. Cunningham got a good look at it. Here comes Tharp. Ellis had no idea that his defender Smith fell.
Catch the ball, check the defense.
Kinney with the move inside, a wild shot. And John Higgins calls an offensive foul on James Kinney.
Hey, you think during that last timeout, Bill Self may have suggested that when our 7-foot center has both feet inside the paint, give him the ball. You see Smith belly up, but he locks his knees. And when you lock your knees, you cannot move left to right. You've got to keep your knees bent, your arms up, chest out, and slide. Make Jeff Withey shoot over you. Don't give him an angle to the basket.
Here's Tharp and Reed. That's I guess one component of Withey's game that some of the guys at the next level are still looking at is low post execution. On cue, missing there on the nice two-man game. But on the previous sequence, showed a nice drop step. Inside again to Cunningham, working against Withey. No double team coming, none needed as they force the miss. Relaford couldn't get the lob up top for Withey. Tharp with the extra pass to McLemore for three. Who does this pace favor right now, if anybody?
Yeah, it favors Kansas, but I'll tell you what, that was excellent transition defense. That was one of the keys George Nessman said. If we're going to stay in this game, we've got to go from offense to defense quickly and efficiently.
Here's Xavier Jones working against Nadir Tharp, and Withey has his second block of the game. McLemore rising up and one. A smooth move by the redshirt freshman.
Oh, man. You talk about takeoff. Start down on the other end. You're going to have a hard time scoring against this Kansas defense with 4 dribbles and backing in. But look at Ben McLemore take off and put that ball out in his left hand. He is smooth.
Reportedly dislocated that shooting finger twice earlier this season in a game against UT Chattanooga, but I think the shooting touch is still there, partner.
Sat out last year as a partial qualifier. And you know, Mark, so many kids today would not stick it out like Ben McLemore did. They would go to JUCO. They would go overseas. They'd go to Europe and play. Or now the rage is, hey, let's just sit out, work with a professional. Credit to Ben McLemore, and he's going to benefit from the year he spent on practicing with Bill Self last year.
A lot of poise and a lot of skill for a redshirt freshman. Poise beyond his years.
Norm Roberts back on the bench with Bill Self and talking to the freshman. It's interesting, you and I talked to the coaching staff today about Ben, and unanimously, one of the very first things they said about him, he is one of the best kids I've ever been around. You know, they don't talk about his talent, they don't talk about his athleticism, they don't talk about his potential, they talk about the kind of kid he is. What a testimony, what a bundle of skills that's going to be.
9-point deficit and an offensive foul called against San Jose State.
Yeah, that's checking into the game. Big 7-foot 1-inch Mike Van Kirk, a freshman out of Palmdale, California. George Nessman wasn't sure he was going to play. He's got a brace on that knee, dislocated his kneecap, and he's got some skill. He's going to be a good one, but he is a young freshman.
Yeah, just recently cleared for full contact activity. Ellis inside, working against Cunningham, and there's the big fella Van Kirk with the block. Now running the floor. That was one of the goals when they hit the recruiting trail last year at San Jose State as Kinney fires away. Van Kirk battling for the rebound, but it's out of bounds. He was going to try and get some more size to protect the rim. And Mike Van Kirk did a nice job of just that on the last possession. We're going to take a timeout and come right back on the other side.
This is
in the last 3 possessions, there's been a lot of standing. There was an offensive foul. There was a bad shot. They need to run their sets and get a shot out of their system.
Murray Traylor coming into the ball game. Here's Elijah Johnson. A little bit strong, but rebounded by Kansas. Tharp. Pull it back out. Little two-man game. Did a nice job refusing the screen, but missed everything. There comes Kinney. Whistle, contact, and a foul underneath. That's going to go against Kansas. And Justin Wesley, the 6'9" junior from Fort Worth, Texas. As DJ Brown comes in for James Kinney.
That's Wesley trying to play defense behind big Chris Cunningham, and George Nesson said that Cunningham is big enough and strong enough to compete in this game. We have got to get him some touches and establish him down in the paint. There he is again, calling for the ball.
Picked up his dribble and almost threw it away. 20 on the shot clock, plenty of time. Cunningham looking for his. Pennington knocks down the long jumper, the 3-ball by LeVan Pennington. And right back at you, Kansas.
Boy, good deep penetration by Nadir Tharp that time. Got down inside the free throw line, and when you can penetrate in transition down there, jump stop and shoot that ball.
You see Tharp picking up Brown almost full court, trying to wear him down. Cunningham. Nice spin move. Boy, a lot of contact and a traveling called by John Higgins. Pardon me, Tommy O'Neal.
I'm surprised George Nesman's going, wait a second. His arms weren't out. His arms were out in front of him. Look at Wesley's arms. They're not bellied up. He's got them out to his side. And well, he may have gotten away with one that time.
Tharp gets the high ball screen on Brown. Missed the bank shot, and one and done at the offensive end for Kansas. Pennington another shot at it and missing, but fouled. And as LeVan Pennington out of San Bernardino, the 6'4" senior, will go to the free throw line.
Pennington, nice job off the dribble. Got to that right elbow, hit that elbow, picked the ball up and drop stepped. And boy, he traveled about 8 or 9 feet on that drop step to draw contact.
That's just his second foul shot in the season. And makes his first of the year. Started his career at University of Southern Mississippi. Played 15 games as a freshman. Transferred to Barstow College. Nesman going deep into his roster as Chris Jones comes back into the ball game now for Pennington. Kansas plays a high tempo, so how much of this substitution pattern by Nesman is just kind of keep fresh bodies in there?
That's the effort. I mean, that's the intent behind the substitution. The problem is a lot of times you go too deep, you lose whatever rhythm you had. And well, he has played a lot of guys that I don't think he anticipated playing this early in the first half. Inside the trailer, and he misses, cleared by Chris Jones. Look at this, a chance now for San Jose State to pull to within 4. Jones on the drive, and he's fouled on the play by Tharp. And that's going to get Rutherford and a couple of other bodies off the bench for Bill Self, including Whitby. Well, you asked me about 3 minutes ago, what did San Jose State need to do? And I said they needed to execute and get some shots out of their system. Exactly what they've done the last 3 possessions. Dribble, penetrate, coming off of dribble handoffs, getting to the elbow, a dribble drive. Much better 3-minute segment for the Spartans. They'll go to the line here, and ESPN College Basketball folks have 1-13 in conference play. Struggling down the stretch, losing 14 of 17 games. You know, you and I were talking about it earlier today. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Mountain West in this latest merry-go-round of conference realignment. Talk about BYU and maybe San Diego State and teams that just left the Mountain West perhaps returning to the Mountain West. Knocks down a pair, and it's a 4-point game. Kansas looking for its 4th straight win. Here's McLemore on the kick out to Rutherford. Johnson launches and knocks it down. You know, there's some questions about this team and still developing its chemistry, Kansas. They were up against Michigan State late in the game and were unable to close the deal, and that brings the question as Ricky makes the block. Who's the closer on this team at crunch time? I tell you who it's going to be at the end of the year. It's going to be that young man wearing number 23. That may not be who it is right now, but it will be by the end. Good ball movement. Johnson with another clean look. Rattles in and out. Not sure Bill Self wants Elijah Johnson to consistently settle for jump shots. He is athletic. He's strong. He needs to attack the basket. He's done a nice job when the defender goes behind the screen, pulling up and taking the shot. But I don't remember Elijah Johnson attacking the rim or attacking the paint yet in this first half.
Didn't have that many free throw attempts last year, albeit the guy attacking the rim most of the time was or is now playing with the Brooklyn Nets, Tyshawn Taylor.
Well, to make your point, Elijah Johnson just 5 free throw attempts for the season.
Deep corner three, no good, and off the mark by Chris Jones. Rebounded by the Spartans, and they are battling and hanging in. Nice putback attempt by Kinney. Lead back down to 5. There's the post up inside to Withy. Bumped and fouled underneath by Stephon Smith. Timeout on the floor, but the Spartans out of San Jose State. A feisty and frenzied group here early in the first half.
Thursday on ESPN.
Jeff Withy at the free throw line for a pair of shots. Had a chance to visit with him during shoot around earlier today, and said that the next element of his game that he wants to work on was being able to step out and make that 12 to 15-foot jump shot, because they play him around that foul line area a lot in their offense. And this past summer had a chance to really hone his skills at the Amari Stoudemire skills camp. You get some good run there.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? I'd love to hear a big guy say, I want to work on my power moves. I want to work on my drop steps and my dunks. So the next time I hear a big guy say that in the summer will be the first time.
Jones over to Brown. Uses the ball screen. Brown with a nice feed. And Van Kirk just couldn't finish the deal. Got a good look at it, though.
Oh, got a great look. Van Kirk's got to finish going through the backboard. He's got to attack the rim. A great pass from DJ Brown.
McLemore for 3. Loose ball. Withy comes up with it. And he finishes.
Now, that would be an acceptable perimeter skills for Bill Self. You catch the ball from 15 feet, you look at a jump shot, but you take one dribble and you put the ball up at the rim.
Here's Kinney. Kinney just 2 of 6 from the field so far.
Oh, terrific defense by Relaford.
Nice feed inside. Plenty of traffic, and Withy has third block. McLemore got it the second time. Loose ball, and Kinney comes up with it. What a Euro step. He went around the world, in fact, around Withy. What a move.
Unorthodox is the word Bill Self used in describing James Kinney, and that's what that conversion was.
With a nice crossover on the big man, Van Kirk.
That's that matchup problem we talked about. You put a big guy out there on Relaford, and he has the perimeter skills to cross you over and knock down jump shots.
8-point lead and a foul outside against Young.
I continue to believe that there is no player in the country this year that can be as dominant on one end of the floor as Jeff Withy can be on the defensive end. He changes shots, he blocks shots, and even when he doesn't get a piece of it, you know he's there. Boy, he has been outstanding in the first half controlling the paint.
Withy already with 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 blocks in the game. He's reached his blocks average already here in the first half, as Brown knocks down the first of 2. Six-point lead for Kansas. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Mark Jones courtside along with Reed Getty's first ever meeting between these two teams. McLemore gets one to fall.
James Kinney had his hand smack in the face of McLemore when he knocked that down. Looked like Shane Battier sticking his hand in the face of Kobe Bryant. I mean, just got his hand right smack in his face. Still knocked down that jump shot.
There's a dribble handoff to Brown. Corner jumper by LeVan Pennington, way strong. And the fans let him know about it, too.
Good post defense by Van Kirk.
Boy, those guys are sumo wrestling down low. Relaford cut off. And Young for three. Tell you what, Van Kirk, young fellas put in a nice first half here for San Jose State. Pretty active.
Bill's not going to be pleased with Kevin Young settling for three-pointers with plenty of time on the shot clock.
He might be pleased by that defense for the steal and the unselfishness to Relaford. He might have saved himself a substitution there.
Or at least mitigated the wrath that he's about to incur.
Lead has swollen to 10. And the Spartans call the timeout. This is the largest lead of the game so far for Kansas. The Big Ten Challenge presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Iowa, Virginia Tech at 7:15. Then Nebraska Wake at 9:15 Tuesday on ESPNU. Also live on Watch ESPN. ESPN, the home court of college hoops, and the Natalie attired, well-dressed Doc Sadler. New assistant coach there for Kansas.
Formerly head coach at Nebraska. And I'll tell you what, when Doc left Nebraska, there were a lot of coaches in America that wanted him sitting on their bench. He had a number of choices, and what a great fit. I mean, it is a perfect fit with Bill Self and his staff here at Kansas.
Of course, Danny Manning, former assistant under Bill Self, now the head coach at Tulsa. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Barry Henson coaching. There's Southern Illinois Salukis, and there's Norm Roberts back from St. John's.
Spartans to inbound, 4:22 to go here in the first half.
They desperately need to get Kinney a good look at the basket.
Comes off the ball screen, nice hesitation. Out to Brown for three, got it. Good execution by the Spartans.
And Kinney went baseline, knew exactly where to look, had one player in the corner and one at the top of the key. They're hanging around.
They're thinking about what happened to UCLA, and they thinking about the play a little of Cal Poly tonight. Nice move inside, though, by Traylor. Brown, a little two-man game inside, and that's the sixth block for Riffey. That one on Cunningham. Tharp on the move. Knocked out of bounds off of San Jose State. Jeff Withey, the human stop sign in the paint. Return to sender. 20-point game.
You are way out of this game, and yet here they are hanging around within 11.
There's the lob to McLemore. Wow, he still finishes. Saw that one coming. That's the second alley-oop he's converted on, and he's got 9 points in the game. Brown lost it off the screen. McLemore, Relaford, layup drill. And in a blink, the lead up to double digits at 13. Kinney had it blocked, but he's fouled by Johnson.
Well, take a look at the last two baskets coming on a baseline out of bounds play. And well, I tell you what, you throw it up at the backboard, and that young man will simply go get it and then transition. Coming down the unselfishness of Ben McLemore and the hustle of Relaford. Well, they can score points in a hurry. Have I mentioned that I like this young man?
He's not bad.
Huh?
Man, that former McDonald's All-American, a partial qualifier last year, sat the year out as Kinney misses the first of two. You know, this is a big night for Kinney. Had a chance to speak with him at shoot-around this morning. Has some 20 family members that made the trip from Ohio, Champaign, Illinois, actually, too, where he's from, to watch him play. Mom, Dad, James Sr., and his mother, Sandra.
Not sure that James Kinney's not limping a little bit. He went down earlier, and he does not look like he's running freely.
Get it inside to Withy, who's double teamed on the catch. Relaford with an open three. Got it. How does that change Kansas in the big picture if teams can't afford to lay off him anymore?
It changes tremendously because, again, it's the matchup difficulty. You don't know whether to match up with his perimeter skills or match up with his size and strength. And, boy, the poise that time of Jeff Withy. I thought he was going to force up a bad shot, kicked it out, and then hustled out and set a nice on-the-ball screen.
Kinney searching for a shot. Boy, he's really frustrated right now.
Yes, he is. Travis Relaford is up into him.
Cunningham, this is a disjointed possession about to implode. Kinney barely got it off in time. And a foul on the putback attempt. But Kansas, partner, seems to have really sped things up on San Jose State right now.
Now, that is a frustrating possession for Bill Self that time. They play excellent defense for 35 seconds and then simply don't go secure a loose ball that hits the floor, allowing James Kinney to pick it up. James Kinney just said something to Bill Self, and Bill Self kind of laughed and shrugged his shoulders.
Soft touch and knocks it down. He's 64% free throw shooter. That snaps a 9-1 run over the last 90 seconds by the Jayhawks.
Jeff Withy checks out of the game with 6 blocks. Would have had his 7th, but for the foul by a teammate. A season high this year. The last game against St. Louis had 7 block shots. Career high 10 block shots.
Kenny with some active hands knocks that out of bounds. And I think you're right, Reed. Kenny seems to be in a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain holding his back as well.
You know, I didn't see him fall, but you just watch him run down the court, and he's not striding freely, and his strides are short, and he's not picking his knees up. Something's hurting him.
Elijah Johnson out top. McLemore off the curl. Tried to pass it. Cunningham got possession. That's going to be a Kansas foul. That's their 8th team foul. And it'll be shots at the other end for San Jose State. Check that. That's their 10th now. And Chris Cunningham will go to the free throw line. The 6'9" junior from Pomona, California, the Santa Clara transfer. It's interesting. We talked about him being able to do this thing when he gets the ball in the paint, and coach said, yeah, he's okay as long as he just gets right to it. We don't want him thinking too much. He's a philosophy major.
You and I both laughed and looked at each other and went, thinks too much. Why would you say that, coach?
Goes 1 for 2 at the line. There's Ellis out top. Little show and go move. And it's stripped away by Mike Van Kirk.
Some nice minutes off the bench.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Kinney with the long jumper knocks down the 3 ball. And they're within 10 right now. Timeout called by Kansas. We're going to stay right here. They've got 3 remaining. Miami Hurricanes out of the ACC. Tom Izzo's team, the only team that defeated Kansas so far this year. Johnson attacks the basket. Couldn't get it to go. You got to admire the way that Bill Self maybe directed him to get into the paint that time.
That shot nothing but 3-point field goal attempts coming out of that timeout. Took the ball all the way to the rim.
Brown up top working against Johnson. About a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Brown refused the screen and got the open look and knocked it down.
Oh, what a great last possession for San Jose State.
10 seconds to go in the half. Johnson out top. McLemore, the go-to guy. A little bit strong, and that's going to be the end of the first half of play. Frustrated James Kinney.
Yet here they are at Allen Fieldhouse, down by just 8. This first 4-minute section, this 4-minute segment for San Jose State is crucial.
They did a great job on the offensive glass. Nice back up by Kinney. Got Withy up in the air and draws the foul. They'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
That was the scouting report on James Kinney. He's unorthodox, that left hand, but he will lift you up and then kind of an NBA lean into you, draw the contact, and get the ball up. Reality is Jeff Withey can block that shot without leaving his feet.
Kinney last year was 4th in scoring in the Western Athletic Conference. He was their most prolific player, coming off an 18-point game against UC Santa Cruz, and he makes it a 6-point game.
Had 19 points earlier against University of Houston, along with a career-high 10 rebounds.
Young out top. .15 on the shot clock, plenty of time. In a 2-man game with Relaford and Withey. Good help defense by Brown, well contested, but boy, Elijah Johnson made that with Brown. Had fingers right in his face, and that's going to be a violation, a line violation against the Spartans.
Boy, cannot afford a careless turnover if you're San Jose State. This was a good shot by Elijah Johnson. I was a little bit critical in the first half that he was settling for threes. That time they ran their offense. They ran through their options late in the shot clock. That was a good shot.
Nice look inside by McLemore. And Withey cleans it up. McLemore picking up Brown now, 3-quarter court. There's Jones. Kinney. He'll shoot those. And Young almost got ripped. It'll stay Kansas basketball.
Almost a nice steal by James Kinney. Leads the Spartans in steals. We found out at halftime that he hurt his midsection a little bit above his hip, and that's why he's laboring a little bit when he runs. Even when he's just standing here, he's wincing. He's in pain.
There's the lob, McLemore. Well, you can throw it high, but not that high.
We said hit the backboard, he'll go get it. Maybe we exaggerated.
Hurt you.
Just a tad.
Good show and go by Cunningham. Couldn't finish, though. That's going to be a jump ball, the possession arrow in favor of the Jayhawks.
2 good possessions by San Jose State. Drew the foul by James Kinney. That time a nice up and drive, up fake and penetration by Chris Cunningham. But coming out of the timeout, 2 good possessions.
McLemore on the wing. McLemore on the drive. Tough move. And draws the foul. Boy, he is fearless going to the basket.
Key in the second half is going to be rebounding for the Kansas Jayhawks. They were out rebounded by 4, especially down on the defensive end. San Jose State had 10 offensive rebounds, but then also Kansas has got to do what Ben McLemore just did. They have got to attack more in the second half.
McLemore knocks down the first of 2, an 80% free throw shooter.
Leads Kansas coming into this game and scoring, second in assists and 3-point field goal percentages, and averages 6 rebounds per game for the freshman.
Up to a 13-point lead and full court pressure. What do you make of the fact of DJ Brown so far? They haven't been able to turn him over that much, although they blocked a shot that time.
Well, I'm surprised that they haven't. Coming into this game, DJ Brown had 14 assists and 11 turnovers. You're not going to win in Allen Fieldhouse with a point guard that's almost a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. He has done a good job, though, in the first half.
Nice feed to Brown, who couldn't get it up to the basket, had it blocked, but it'll stay San Jose State basketball. Well, Brown worked on his game a lot over the summer, playing at Hacks, a popular place for a lot of good pros and college players to get some run out in Los Angeles. That's going to be an offensive foul against Chris Cunningham. That's his second personal foul.
George Nesman saying if this was an NBA game, you would be fined.
Well, the first one's a warning.
Yeah. Consider yourself warned.
McLemore from way downtown. Jones with the rebound. Here's Brown. Now, Brown talked about playing this past summer against the likes of Paul Pierce and Brandon Jennings and a bunch of other Los Angeles area NBA players. Nice block by Withey. Never gave up on it. In transition. Tipped up and in by Young. And now the crowd gets into it.
George Nesman cannot believe they did not call a foul on Jeff Withey down there as Alex Brown went to the hole. Boy, he was just livid on the sideline.
Brown fouled by McLemore.
Here's the play that got George Nesman so upset. Alex Brown collects himself, goes up strong.
Second personal foul, second team foul.
And then rewarding the big fella running down the floor. Boy, that's awful athletic. When you got a 7-foot kid that can jump and play defense the way Jeff Withey does and can get out and fill the lane in transition and then good enough hands to catch the ball.
When you think about his path from starting his career at Arizona, transferring after Lute Olson resigned, to how far he's come here at Kansas. A real success story.
Oh my gosh, light years. I was here the first day he came on campus. In the first workout, I looked at him, I thought, oh my, he's got a long way to go.
And that's what's next. He's a lot closer after that hook shot. Withey with 10 points, 9 blocks, and 6 rebounds, working on a triple-double.
I called Cole Aldrich's NCAA game where he had a triple-double, and Jeff Withey will be flirting with that here this evening.
Brown to Cunningham. Cunningham had it blocked by Young. Boy, they're contesting everything in the paint, but especially number 5. You throw it inside to him, and you can put 5 on it. That's the show. Back with more after this.
The kid of Kansas State. But you think about around the country.
Enrique
Roberts of Kansas State.
They go right inside to Withey, who missed everything with the left hand.
But go around the country. You're talking about Cody Zeller. You're talking about McAdoo. I mean, yeah. Jeff Withey is as talented as anybody in America.
Kinney with a tough shot from downtown. Cunningham battling inside, and he's fouled underneath by Young.
You know, reminiscing about the first day I saw Jeff Withey on campus after transferring from Arizona. Who'd have thunk that back then I would be saying the words as talented as anybody in America. I mean, credit hard work and some very receptiveness to some tough love from Coach Self.
Here's Brown. Just under 15.5 to go in the second half. Brown challenged McLemore and was fouled on the play. Talked about Brown there playing against some of the top NBA players in the Los Angeles area during the offseason. The likes of Paul Pierce, Brandon Jennings, Drew Holiday. His dad, Derek Brown Sr., the director and manager of Hack. So, hey, you got the keys to the gym. You can work on your game 24/7.
You and I
you can invite some guys over too.
You and I were thinking the same thing. He's running off those guys. I'm thinking, well, I mean, he's talented. That's a serious run right there. How do you get in one of those games?
With the inside, making it look easy.
They just are going to him. A right-handed jump hook, a left-handed jump hook. That time a drop step over his left shoulder. Boy, he is dominating this game.
The lead swelling to 19 points. This was an 8-point game at the break. Good show by Withey on the 2-man game defensively. Kinney out top. Nice pump fake. And rebounded by Withey. Out and running. This is the way Kansas wants to play.
San Jose State needs a timeout.
Withey with the steal.
Timeout called San Jose State.
And there was a timeout called first.
In the air.
Here's Brown.
If I could read Higgins' lips, he said something like, come on, Bill.
Pennington on the wing. Drives into the double team, into traffic. And it knocked out of bounds. 13 seconds to go on the shot clock.
We talked about the importance of the first 4-minute segment, now extending it to almost 6 minutes, and a 15-2 scoring advantage for the Jayhawks coming out of the locker room.
Here's Van Kirk. Brown with the jumper. Just got it off in time, out of bounds. And Kansas basketball. Coverage of college basketball continues Saturday with a triple-header on ESPNU at 6. Blazers take on the Tar Heels at 8. It's the Wildcats and Red Raiders at 10. Aztecs taking on the Bruins. College basketball triple dip Saturday on ESPNU, also live on Watch ESPN. ESPN, the home court of college hoops. Ellis out top. Well, Kansas has shown a lot of patience when they've wanted to in the half court. Withy with good position, got it to go.
It's amazing how committed in the second half they've been to pounding the ball into the paint and executing with the patience that you reference.
All knocked away. Elijah Johnson with active hands.
Checking in for San Jose State, Xavier Jones.
Xavier Jones coming into the ball game. San Jose State has not made a field goal, Reed Geddes, here in the second half. They are 0 of 11 from the field.
That's not good.
Kansas consistently amongst leaders in field goal percentage defense. And that's going to be a flagrant foul.
Well, that was good poise by Andrew White III. I thought he would turn around and pop back, and a little bit of discussion right now with Elijah Johnson taking up for his teammate, and LeVan Pennington getting into it a little bit, and John Higgins doing a nice job. Randy Heimerman getting in there and putting it into that quickly. I'm all in favor of tough physical fouls. I am never in favor of clobbering somebody from behind.
Yeah. That's where it gets a little bit dangerous, especially when a player begins to take flight.
We'll have to sort this out. It's got to be a double technical, I would assume.
Anytime you come up around the head.
You know what? Elijah didn't do much. He just went down there and said, hey, I'm a senior, and let me tell you something. That dog's not gonna hunt in our house.
Yeah. I'm not even sure why that's a technical foul.
Technical on.
He just went over to the opponent, said that wasn't cool what you did. That's all.
There's a point of emphasis this year on decorum, and they're emphasizing bench decorum, but it has to do on the floor as well. And it's the coaches saying we're trying to improve the sportsmanship and the appearance of our game. And I think that was pretty good officiating.
Lead up to 23 now. And 24 after the free throws.
And a number 24, LeVan Pennington.
Pennington out of the ball game.
Well, they must have called a double technical.
Double technical called on the play. Kansas in the middle of an 18-0 run in the last 6:40. And the drought continues for the Spartans here. Okay, put your coach hat on. Draw one up. Who do you go to here?
You'd like to get the ball to Kinney. Travis Relaford's not guarding him. Andrew White has come off the bench. He's trying to hold him. Andrew White is not as quick side to side as Travis Relaford. I would try to run some sort of cut and see if you can't get James Kinney a look at the basket if I was George Nessman.
12.5 to go. Kinney with a long three. And a tough shooting night for Kinney. It's 4 of 14. Ellis blocked and got the second one, but a whistle first. It's going to be a foul against Chris Cunningham.
You know, you're talking about James Kinney struggling a little bit from the floor. He has not shot the ball as well behind the three-point line this year as he did last year. He came into the game just 7 for 24 from behind the line.
And Perry Ellis misses the first of two. A couple of subs coming in. McLemore along with Nadir Thorpe. Relaford and Elijah Johnson sit down for the Jayhawks.
Perry Ellis, a McDonald All-American.
That's redundant when you say Kansas, right? I mean, they got they just seem to have a fast track pipeline.
What a high school career Perry Ellis had. Led his high school team, Wichita Heights, to 4 consecutive state championships.
And Kurt set the screen for Kinney. And he gets that one to go his 5th field goal tonight, a 3-ball. And that finally ends the scoring drought in a field goal perspective for Kansas in the second half. That was their first one. They went 7:48 without a field goal. Wow. You mentioned earlier that the first 5 minutes was crucial. They failed that test. A rolling, sweeping hook by Withey.
That is virtually unstoppable. If you're not going to double team him, if Jeff Withey can use that as a consistent offensive go-to weapon, there are not many people. No, there are not many people.
There's Xavier Jones now running the show. Backdoor cut by Kinney. Withey put up the stop sign and he ran it. Nice layup there by James Kinney. Here's Thorpe now running the offense. Kinney with the steal. Ooh, I guess he's not that hurt. He raised up pretty quickly.
It's the healing power of the basketball. On offense, he looks well. Down on defense, he moans and groans a little bit.
Lead down to 20. McLemore from the corner. Hasn't been the stellar shooting night for McLemore. 4 of 11.
Well, if you're San Jose State, you got a chance to get back into this game. I'd keep the ball in Kinney's hands.
Jones cut off by Thorpe on the drive. Kinney launching and knocks down another 3. Starting to feel a little bit better.
There he is.
And Bill Self has seen enough on consecutive 3-pointers to lead down to 17. And
A clean look at the basket.
And Tharp now back on the bench. Kinney, meanwhile, with 22 points. And all 12 points this half. Let's see what Kansas runs coming out of his timeout. Ellis kicks it out to McLemore. And he's still cold, but Withey with the rebound. Triple teamed underneath. Lost it. Out of bounds. It'll be Jayhawk basketball when we come back to this timeout. McLemore. There's Johnson out top. Relaford. Johnson raising up for the jumper. And rims out. Here's Kinney. They have a chance to cut it down to 15. And Relaford got a hand up contested, but the bucket goes anyway by Lewis Garrett. I'm not sure he called a bank, but the 3-ball makes it a 14-point game. This game's starting, Reed. And great hustle that time by Lewis Garrett. Coming close to our table.
Did not get much playing time in the first half. Lewis Garrett bringing some energy off the floor. Throws this one up. Only 1 for 3 for the season behind the line. Banks one in, and well, they count any way they go in. But good hustle by Garrett down here on the defensive end.
This game's starting to resemble the St. Louis Kansas game a little bit in that St. Louis kind of crept back into things.
Nice adjustments by George Nesman. Instead of playing straight up on Jeff Withey, he has started double teaming, even triple teaming, and daring Kansas to knock down some jump shots.
There's Johnson. McLemore still cold from the perimeter.
I like to see McLemore up fake and attack down that baseline.
Spartans can get it down to 12 here. You don't have to ask him to shoot. Kinney comes up short, though. And that was a wise foul by Kinney because Relaford had an easy layup at the other end.
Kinney has the ultimate green light, but after that shot, he looked over to the bench. George Nesman pointed to him and said, we can get it. We can get you closer than that. You don't have to settle way out there. Get inside the three-point line and attack.
Relaford to inbound for Kansas.
Garrett almost got his hand down another passing lane.
He's been pretty active since coming into the game.
He has.
McLemore still trying to find one and can't. And now searching for shots, and it almost cost them a layup at the other end. Kinney couldn't find the handle.
Have you ever wanted to know what a fast break looked like coming into your living room?
Not this close.
This is what it would look like.
Trailer on top. Boy, they're really sagging off of him. Oh, he takes 2 dribbles. He's got an easy open foul line jumper instead. Withy double teamed. Relaford for 3. And it'll be San Jose State basketball.
Mark, I think Kansas's last 7 possessions have resulted in jump shots. George Nesman making nice adjustments down on the defensive end with his post defense help.
Xavier Jones up court. Garrett guarded by McLemore. Jones with the move, and Withy with another block. Oh, and what a shot by Van Kirk with his back to the basket. And the lead is down to 12.
That is a triple-double for Jeff Withy.
The fact that San Jose State has crept back into this game, how much of that has to do with the fact that maybe Kansas does or doesn't have a closer right now? Does that have anything to do with it?
I think that's a great point. Well, that's the answer right there. McLemore, that's the first time that he didn't settle for a jump shot and attack the paint. It was a turnover, but it was still the right decision. Well, big possession right now for San Jose State.
Chance to get it to 10. Who would have thought? It was 7:05 to go. Garrett. Oh, he was feeling good in rhythm.
Oh, my.
And a turnover as Van Kirk. Where's Kinney? They find him for 3. Got it! And the lead is below double figures. A 9-point game.
Kansas was at the 11:42 mark. Almost 5 minutes ago, they have missed 5 straight
and they
jump
turn
shots.
it over again, Reed. Jones calls out the play. Kinney for 3. Had a clean look. Might have been a little deep, but how do you feel about that shot? Do you mind that one?
Not at all.
McLemore, that's going to be an offensive foul. And McLemore now maybe showing some of his youth tonight, a little bit impatient. Getting called for the offensive foul. Time out on the floor, a 9-point game, and the 4th foul on McLemore. Their lead.
What's better, bigger or smaller? Bigger! So which would you...
Kinney, and it allowed him to get into a rhythm, and now Rutherford's back on him and can't contain him.
Let's keep an eye on that matchup. Xavier Jones up court. Good defense by Tharp, comes up with the steal. Ahead to Young, who's going to pull it out. And he almost threw it away. Good defense by Kinney. And back comes DJ Brown into the ball game. They were able to make this run with their starting point guard on the bench. What do you make of that?
It has been amazing, really. Garrett checking out of the game. He brought energy. You know, he banked in a 3-pointer, but defensively, he has disrupted passing lanes. He's run through 2 passes. Great effort off of the bench in the second half by Lewis Garrett.
Tharp up top. Not a clean look. And rebounded by San Jose State. You're throwing your palms up to the air. You didn't like that?
I don't know why you're settling for that shot at this point in the shot clock. You've lost momentum. That is not the shot that you need.
Here's Kinney out top. Relaford all over him. Cunningham's been quiet here in the second half. They repost it to him. Faces up on Young. Got it stripped away and was fouled on the shot attempt. They'll go to the free throw line. Kansas, meanwhile, was looking for a jump ball. But Cunningham will shoot 2.
I don't know what that exchange was, but it was ugly.
Well, He'll shoot 2 foul shots. That's the good news. The bad news is he's only a 57% free throw shooter on the season. The guy who over the last couple of years has really transformed his body. Gotten into great shape. Missing the first of 2.
Well, we thought he'd be a key to this game with his inside scoring. He has only scored 3 points in this game, now 4, but has been very good on the boards, 10 rebounds.
Jayhawks getting a lot more than they bargained for tonight.
A couple of Jayhawks in foul trouble. McLemore and Young with 4.
Clark over to Relaford. Johnson with a 3.
I just, for the life of me, cannot fathom the number of jump shots that Kansas is shooting here in the second half.
There's the dribble handoff, the floater by Kinney. Missed everything. And he commits the foul in the backcourt as well. That's the 3rd foul against Kinney. 17 foul. Shots at the other end.
Amazing, Mark, how well Kansas played the first 7 minutes of the second half, and then how poorly they have played the last 7 minutes.
Young, meanwhile, at the foul line, a 75% free throw shooter, makes the first one. Transfer from Loyola Marymount. He averaged about 11 points a game. Missed the opener this year with a broken bone in his shooting hand.
So Ben McLemore over there on the bench with a bandage on his lip. That last charge split his lip open. I mean, to put this into context, during the Bill Self era, he has won more Big 12 titles than he has lost home games.
Wow. Now 197-7 at home. Rough sledding inside. And back come the Jayhawks. Tharp. Whiffy posting up big. They get it into him. Young missed the tip. And Tharp with another possession. And he turns it over. Kinney with 2 great fakes. Oh, he hit him with the okey-doke twice.
Oh, man. What a great jump stop. Up fake and then another up fake.
Boy, what started off as a slow game for James Kinney. Now with 27.
Well, Jeff Whiffy's about to get an offensive foul trying to dislodge Van Kurt down there from his defensive position.
Relaford inside, and that's going to be a foul against Cunningham. He's had foul trouble in 3 of the 4 games, but James Kinney in the open court has been lethal at times, and those invaluable up fakes bearing fruit.
From the get-go of this game, he has played consistent, he's played with intensity, he's played tough.
Young at the foul line. An impressive stat line. As his improvement continues to be a big topic across the college basketball landscape. Really came into the spotlight last year in the Final Four. Brown probing that defense. Kinney from way downtown. Out of bounds. It'll be San Jose State basketball. Now, I know Kinney's hot, but you're all right with that last shot?
You know, the way he's playing, oh boy, that was close. The way he's playing, he's got a green light. He thrives with a green light, and I keep that thing green. That's a good call by Tom O'Neal. He absolutely dragged that pivot foot. He hadn't made many mistakes here in the second half.
Johnson up court. Under 3.5 minutes to go. Kansas looking for its 5th win against 1 defeat. Their only loss this season coming against Michigan State earlier this year. And Johnson turns it over. Brown makes the call. How surprised are you that San Jose State hasn't gotten much out of Cunningham tonight?
I've been very surprised. Kevin Young has done a terrific job defensively, and they have really kept him out of the paint.
7 on the shot clock. Kinney! Oh, he's got enough to feed the needy. Wow.
Did we mention that he has a green light?
The lead is down to 7, and he's hit 30. With a hand in his face.
There are not many people not named Kevin Durant or Michael Beasley that have come into this house and put up 30.
Young wheeling on the baseline, nowhere to go. Puts it back out, plenty of time on the shot clock, down to 11. Double team on Withy. He's fouled on the play by Chris Cunningham. Let's take one more look. How did he squeeze this shot out?
Well, I mean, there is not much daylight there. That is pretty good defense by Ben McLemore right in front of his coach. And I guarantee you, George Nesmith saying, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Well, that's what I would be saying.
Well, the bad news for San Jose State is that was the 5th foul for Chris Cunningham, and he is now fouled out in 4 of their 5 games this year.
Listen, I know that he had good numbers coming in, but is it really bad news when you look out there and you see Van Kirk checking back into the game?
Probably not.
You know, for George Nesmith, his kid played hard. Chris Cunningham played hard, but Van Kirk has been a difference maker in this game.
Withy, meanwhile, at the foul line, a 68% free throw shooter. 2:10 to go. San Jose State looked like they were about to let go of the rope as Kansas went on a huge run. I believe a 50-0 run to start the second half. Spartans went several minutes without a field goal, more than 6 minutes without a field goal in this half, and have battled back. Little dribble handoff off top. Here's Brown. Drives it into the paint. Jones with the rebound. Got it blocked by Withy. A popular chorus tonight. A career-high 11 blocks tonight for Jeff Withy. And his 201 career blocks now surpasses Danny Manning for 6th in
over and dot. A big possession right now. That was a good timeout by Bill Self. They need to execute and get a good, clean shot at the basket.
They haven't had any field goals in about 10 minutes. Johnson out top. Spartans need a stop here. McLemore. Relaford 5 on the shot clock for Johnson. Rising up for the jumper, and he finds the net at just the right moment. He's the senior, and the lead is up to 9.
Well, that was a perfect possession. They ran 32 seconds off the shot clock and had a 15-foot open jump shot.
Kinney passed it to the big fella Van Kirk, who couldn't find the handle. And that might just about do it with under a minute to go now.
All of the players on the floor for Kansas right now are good free throw shooters. If you're George Nesmith, there's not really anyone out there that you say, let's go foul. Although, when in doubt, I always foul the freshman.
There's Johnson. They're going to let it down a little bit here. The clock, their ally.
I don't know about letting this much time run off.
I think they should be fouling right now, and Brown commits the foul, but a little bit late.
The shot clock starts at 35. They don't foul till it gets down to 11, and then they just reach out and watch the reaction of George Nesmith. He's saying, wait, why would we do that? Why would we burn that much time and then reach out and foul with 11 seconds to go?
Sends Elijah Johnson to the foul line, an 80% free throw shooter on the season. Making the transition to the primary ball handler this year. How difficult a transition is it when Tyshawn Taylor did most of it last year?
It's difficult, and he's doing okay right now. His assist-to-turnover ratio, he's got 20 assists and 12 turnovers coming into this game. He's flirting with 2 for 1. For Kansas to make a run at a national championship, he needs to be up well above 2 to 1. He's got to be flirting with 3 to 1 on assist-to-turnover ratio. So he needs to make better decisions and run his team more efficiently.
Brown into the paint. And Withy with another spike. Showtime for McLemore. Ooh, did he take off? And the block at the other end. Well, this one is cooked, glazed, and about to be sliced. Kansas will improve to 5-1 on the season. Their 4th straight win, holding off a